The news breaking about Gobert literally seconds before tip-off of a game scheduled between the Jazz and the Thunder, and the game was then postponed. Gobert was not in the arena, but players were sent back to the locker rooms. Fans were told to leave the arena at that point. And again, it was a very strange spectacle, to say the very least. Let's bring our Royce Young from Oklahoma City into the conversation here. Royce, you were constantly tweeting updates about this throughout the night, saying the Jazz team buses finally left the arena around 2:15 a.m. Eastern time. What is the latest you can tell us about this morning?
Well, as of about, at least within the hour, Greeny, the Utah Jazz are still at their hotel. It's the 21C Hotel, not far from the arena here. And they're basically waiting. The results for the testing that they did on team and team personnel should be coming back soon, or maybe they possibly even have it at this point. But they're making determinations on now how to get the team back to Salt Lake City and when they might leave Oklahoma City to do that. And one of those options, I'm told from sources close to the situation, is maybe taking two separate charter planes, one of them being a positive test plane for coronavirus and the other being a negative test plane for coronavirus. And once the team gets back to Salt Lake City, they have hotels arranged that would be set up to quarantine the players in. Again, a positive hotel and a negative hotel. But as it stands right now, the Jazz are still in Oklahoma City trying to figure out their next steps based on what the results may indicate.
We've done our best to show the video this morning and play some of the reaction. How would you describe what it was like in the arena last night?
Well, I don't want to say it was chaos or panic because it really was handled quite well. But if you just kind of rewind to the sequence of events, Greeny, and how it led to the point of the NBA season eventually getting suspended, I'm sitting there pregame watching players warm up on the court. Donovan Mitchell's warming up. Danilo Gallinari's warming up. Ball boys are rebounding them, all touching the same ball, passing it back and forth. Fans are in the stands, all touching this little soft mesh basketball, shooting it, taking turns with each other. And then you fast forward to Rudy Gobert is questionable with an illness. Quinn Snyder initially ruled him out, then said that he was not there. He claimed that he misheard the question and said that Gobert was still questionable before tip-off. There was confusion on that front. And then 30 minutes after that, the game is postponed and shut down, and we come to find out that Rudy Gobert has the coronavirus. So all of that kind of sequencing of events, I think, kind of goes to show how many unknowns there were in the arena last night, leading up to the NBA season eventually being postponed and suspended. So, as it stands right now, I think you're sitting there with the Utah Jazz 6 hours after the postponement of the game, still in the arena. The Thunder are sent home, and they're literally just a hallway away. So it was there were a lot of circumstances that were, as one Thunder official told me, it felt like that the league was caught a little bit flat-footed with this situation in terms of their preparation.
And very quickly, what other reaction did you hear from people involved last night?
Yeah, I think that, one of the things that most people felt like the situation was handled as well as it could be on the ground within the arena. But again, when it comes to the league's preparation, the Board of Governors had their meeting. At that point, Greeny, that there was just talk about playing games with no fans. I'm asking Steven Adams questions at a podium, and he's talking about how bizarre it might be to play a game with no fans. And then you fast forward 30 minutes after that, and now there's no NBA season to be played. So a lot of people were just caught off guard. And again, that's kind of the messaging that I was given, is that people just didn't expect what was to come. And again, they were caught flat-footed.
Royce Young, thank you so much for this. And obviously, you'll continue to cover for us, and we will come back to you as needed. I'll come to the table here in Windy. As he was talking, I saw you multiple times sort of nodding your head along. What reaction did you have?
Rudy Gobert was listed as questionable because if he had tested negative for coronavirus, he intended to play. Now, whether they would have let him play or not is a different thing, but this is why you got to shut it down. Because here's a guy, Rudy is feeling okay. He's healthy. He feels healthy. That's why you can't have these guys continue to play games, because you have people who don't know they have it who are still playing. That's why there's got to be leadership shown here in the other leagues.
I need to ask you, because I'm going to put you into the area now of guessing, and none of us know exactly where any of this is headed. But what is your best guess as to how this plays out in the immediate future, in the days to come?
Well, like I said, the NBA right now is dealing with an outcry from their players. Their players were very shaken last night. They've got to deal with their staff and players. I was in contact with staff members who were at games last night who had to go home and explain to their wives and their families what to do. They've got to deal with just the insular right here, what's right in front of them, and comfort that layer and get those people protected, and then they can go out. And that needs to be being done at the college level and all other places.
Can I say something that really bothered me last night? I saw such hate that was being spewed for Rudy Gobert on social media, and that needs to stop, right? Like, we all been ignorant. Everybody's made games. Everybody's played games about this to a certain degree. People make jokes about it all the time. We should have been taking this a lot more seriously. And this is where leadership comes into play, guys. So, you get worried about Zach Lowe, who we work with, who was in close confines with Rudy Gobert. You worry about all the staffers, all the players. This is way bigger than just the players. It's about everybody's health.
If you were trying to put yourself in the position, Matt, of some of the players right now, what do you think you would be concerned with right now?
Family. You know what I mean? I'm a father of three little boys, you know what I mean? So my first and foremost concern is anything I'm around my teammates with, I can possibly give to my kids. So I think we're taking the right steps. As we mentioned yesterday, I didn't think it was important enough to take the fans away. To me, we have to really just, like I've been saying, take a step back and find out exactly what we're dealing with, and I think we're heading in the right direction with that.
Okay.